Yeah.
I do want to see
All
that.
right, so controversial statement too. Still sticking with Demetrius Johnson because he came out. All right, MMA is the easiest sport to win a championship in.
Bro.
Thoughts?
So, I don't know, man. That seems weird to me.
I'm on the fence with this one, because I heard and I read what his argument was, all right, and he has a legit argument.
It's probably very similar to the argument from boxing.
What do you think it is?
Like you're not really getting the best of the best. It's kind of
his okay. So you're tiptoeing around it, all right, like that. But I think you're reading into it too much. All right, his thing is that in MMA is that you have all these fighters, all right, and they still have flaws. We just talked about this earlier in our other episodes, like that. And what I was talking about errors of MMA,
right?
All right, where it was strictly one error. And now, then it came into like, okay, now you have two disciplines of martial arts.
Right.
Like that. Now, if you're not versed in at least boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling, and like, put your 10,000 hours in all of those, like that. All right.
Right.
Then you can't really say that you're a well-rounded fighter.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because, all right, let's take someone, arguably the greatest of all time. All right. Who they say right now, Khabib. Undefeated, finished his career like that.
Savage.
Yep.
No stand up at all. Who did he knock out clean off his feet? Like I cannot think of one person right now that he knocked out clean off his feet with his strikings or kicks or anything like that.
I can't think of anybody offhand. I'm gonna look it up and see.
Not one person, bro. Like that. Everything he's been on freaking a record saying, why am I gonna go to your game? Why am I gonna play your game? I'm gonna drag you to the floor and I'm just gonna pound you up or submit you. That's all he did.
And he was a
right.
hell of a wrestler.
Yeah, what I mean. I think it was maybe the McGregor. It was the second fight, maybe the second fight when McGregor was really ready for the takedown, and then Khabib was like, "Oh shit," he figured out how to do, a sprawl and get back up to his feet, and then McGregor was able to tag him up. Yeah, but a clean knockout, I don't think he has one. All right.
Let's see. TKO.
Now let's go to
Keep going.
No, yeah, and then so let's think about other fighters. You know what I mean? So his whole argument is like, you get these fighters that are real great in their discipline. Maybe they're a jiu-jitsu practitioner, they're a good grappler. They're a great Muay Thai guy or a striker like that. But they have holes everywhere else, and then like obviously matchups make fights.
Yeah.
And so if you get matched up with that one guy can really freaking dissect your game plan of what what you're gonna go to like that. I'm like, you're dead in the water.
You mean like a good manager?
Huh? It's real hard to duck fighters in UFC as much as it is in boxing or something like that.
Right.
The fight will come to it, like that. But like off the top of my head, as well-rounded, I'm talking about everything like put together, I can only think of two people. GSP being the first, all right, and John Jones now. And then now Demetrius Johnson as well. I'll put him in there, like that. I think everybody else there's a flaw somewhere. There's they don't have enough no striking or boxing or no kicks with Muay Thai. No grappling. With the wrestling or no submission. Like that.
There's so about,
I think everybody's always kind of left out somewhere, and I think that's why he makes a valid point.
What do you think about Gilbert Burns?
No, striking's not there. Grappling.
That's what I was. He hits hard if he can hit you, but it's
with
not,
what the right hand that it's coming.
I was gonna say,
what I mean?
Just not. It's just
he's gonna level change right hand, and then take the shot, drag it down. Okay, we're talking. Well, Khabib did it, so he was successful with it. All right, but
nah, he was more of a stand-up guy.
Who I would have.
One of my favorite fighters though, Cowboy Cerrone.
Cowboy Cerrone, but he choked out. Freaking how many times has he been dragged down and freaking his gas tank freaking done? You know what I mean?
One of my favorite fighters, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of flaws, you know what I mean? And if you can really expose those flaws, because, the guy, is only a practitioner of one or two, disciplines, but he really hasn't figured out on all the other ones. I was like, Nah, I get where he says like winning an MMA title can be very easy, as opposed to a boxing match, a boxing championship match, or a Muay Thai match or anything like that. Guess what? These guys have been putting 10,000 plus hours, freaking into this and this only, into like that. So there you don't have you can't you can't expose that. There's not much really to expose. You know what I mean? Like that.
Well, so what would your top 3 martial art disciplines be?
Top 3?
Yeah.
It would be wrestling first. All right, you had to have the wrestling.
Okay.
All right. I would put stand up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just for the fact that Muay Thai
really.
About
MMA. I'm talking about just in general. Like
in
your
general,
top 3.
Wrestling, Muay Thai, and boxing.
I thought he was gonna go on wrestling,
and wrestling. Dylon, and Dylon.
Bro, I have been watching a lot.
And wrestling.
And you know me. What about you, Lynn? What do you think, Lynn? What do you think?
I definitely have an appreciation for wrestling now. I use it all the time in my game. But wrestling, jiu-jitsu, I guess it's hand in hand. Muay Thai.
I go a little closer. Yeah, no, like bring it up to you, man.
And I think, man, yeah, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai.
What about you?
See, I've been watching a lot of this stuff, man. A lot of it, bro. And first of all, shout out to wrestler. I really believe wrestling is the elite.
I think it really dictates the fight. I think it's the number one dictator.
I think wrestling is single disciplines. I think wrestling is the elite. I've been watching it. I'm like, everybody else is great. I love jiu-jitsu. Wrestling is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But here's one that I think is like kind of unsung, bro. Slamming people to the earth, bro.
For what?
Fucking judo.
Oh.
Bro, judo is nuts.
Okay, so, all right. Go ahead and finish. Because I don't want to go to a rabbit hole, but I have my own argument for that. Bro,
judo is crazy. And then after that, I feel like Muay Thai is Muay Thai is the best, like, stand-up straight. Yeah. Now, conglomerate, like, if you had to have one that made you comfortable, in all situations, that would be, like, jiu-jitsu would kind of be, like, a good, like, meld. There's a lot of striking, but a good meld of all of them. But individual, like, bro, those are the 3 for me.
Yeah.
For me, just all time it has to be wrestling. All right.
Yeah.
Because wrestling, stemming from from itself. That what do you get from that? Right. You don't get the judo. All right, but you still get throws. From fuck, why am I not thinking Greco-Roman. There you go, Greco.
Yeah.
All right. So you still get the hip tosses and the throws and everything like that, of what judo can, like that. So you in just that one sport, you get the shots, the takedowns, the throws, everything like that. As for, judo, you're not taking shots to the leg, what I mean, like that. And then as for jiu-jitsu, I can't really say jiu-jitsu can dictate the pace, because if you're a true jiu-jitsu practitioner, all right, in nogi, what's the nogi game going to right now? Sit on my ass? Come on now. All right, you're not gonna. We're in a fight. We're in a fight. You know what I mean? Like that. So all right. So if you're not taking shots to get the guy down, all right, like ground, that, then what is your submissions are ineffective. Like that. And then it's not like I'm gonna, it's not like in today's modern, MMA world, I'm gonna let someone take me down so I can play my freaking my jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? No, the guy's gonna be grounding and pounding and stuff like that.
Did that?
Yeah, look how did he win that fight?
That was terrible, bro.
As Dana White, I would not have paid him out, bro. I was like, this is the worst fucking fight ever. I can't think of another worst fight ever. Dragging his ass for 5 minutes on the floor.
That was terrible.
And stuff like that.
Like
Come
a
on
dog
now. Just itching his butt. Bro, come on, man. Like, yeah,
terrible,
you know what I mean? Like that right there itself is like, okay, that like I love jiu-jitsu and everything like that, but you talking about narrowing it down to 3 out of my 4, narrowing it down to 3. I can't put it in there. You know
wouldn't
what I mean?
Put it in there.
All right, you have to have some form of grappling. Grappling is going to be king, you know, to dictate the fight like that. Then you have to have some form of striking, you know, like that. Out of between boxing and kickboxing, you know, I'm going to go a little bit more conservative, you know what I mean, as for boxing. Okay, because when you're throwing kicks or high kicks up and stuff, you're gonna leave yourself exposed, and if it doesn't land, you know the guy's gonna take you down.
See, that's what I mean. I don't like the high kicks.
Yeah,
but I do feel you.
Yeah, like you know, I'm all about a low kick like that. But you know, if you risk going high, you know, going for the money shot and you know the big payday and stuff like that, like like you know, you're exposing yourself and you know like that, and it becomes risky. But you know, the thing about you know being able to strike with your elbows, your knees, your legs, not just your hands. All right, like it's very effective, and you know. And as Khabib has proven, like you know, does he even have a belt in jiu-jitsu? I think he's still a white belt.
I don't think so.
You know, like that. I think like I don't even think he even cares about because he does sambo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh. Like that. So it has some form of submission grappling in there. You know, like that. Yeah. You know, but the thing is that okay, it's not pure jiu-jitsu. But look what he was able to you know accomplish. You know, he you know takes the guy down and freaking he's you know just cranked the shit out of someone's fucking neck. You know, like that. I don't think he really has any leg locks or nothing like that. You know, he has some couple arm bars. They show arm bars and things like that. But you know, that's very basic.
Sambo,
you know,
judo and wrestling is his kind of background.
Yeah, like that. So you know that and so, going back to what DJ said, you know, you know, I feel where he's coming from at that. If you can really, you know, pick apart someone's, you know, major flaws like that in a championship fight, I'm like, it's going to be very easy for you to win, you know, as opposed to, you know, elite boxers, you know, like someone like Canelo and then Charlo, you know, that's coming up like them. Ooh. I'm like, like, you know, it is a serious chess match. You know, I mean, who, you know, not too many people is, you know, like that because this is the only thing that they're worried about. There's only, you know, like that, or, you know, someone in Muay Thai, you know, like that, you know, it's a serious chess match because that's all they're focused on. As for MMA, as you know, like the only reason I really don't I disagree what he says is because like, man, you have to think about so much stuff. Right. You know, you got fists coming at your elbows, knees, kicks, takedowns, you know, chokes, you know, whatever. It can go anywhere. And if you're not ready for that, like, you're going to be in a world of hurt. You know what I mean? Or if both parties are ready for it, man, like it's going to be a hell of a show. You know, like that. Or it might be boring because they're just tiptoeing too much. They're just,
but see, it does kind of make sense because it's kind of like, you know, what he's saying is like if I only have to worry about your hands, you're going to get a much better person coming. But now if I have to worry about your hands and your feet, and then if I'm preparing, I'm also have to prepare for not only your left hand, but I have to prepare for your right high kick, and I have to prepare for your shots. Yeah. Yep. So now it changes the way that you prepare. I mean, I get it. I see it. I just think that, bro, that's like a really like walk the line, like a walk the line statement. But I feel him.
And I just thought about this right now too. So let's go back right now. A hot topic that we were talking about earlier. You know, this Jake Paul, the whole situation. Right. All right. This is prime example of why DJ does have an argument of why he says this. You know what I mean? Because okay, these guys are former UFC fighters, you know, veterans and stuff like that. Let's take the age out of the equation. You know what everybody talks about. Right. All right. Okay, what does Jake Paul do?
Box.
He boxes.
Period.
Right now, that's all he's doing is just
nothing
boxing.
Else.
All right. Okay. Now
he pretends he's training.
But okay, let's think about the fighters that he's been fighting. You know. Yeah. You know, you're talking about Jake Paul, 3 hours of training. You know, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours at night, all boxing. Okay, you're talking about Nate Diaz, freaking Woodley. You know, all these other guys. They do 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours at night. All right. 1 hour is about striking, 1 hour it was wrestling, 1 hour is jiu-jitsu, like that. You see what I mean? It's all, you know, divided like that, you know? So yes, they have, you know, the pedigree, you know, the striking and the knowledge of it like that, but it ain't 100%, you know, in it. So, you know, that's why,
well, then
you know.
you take people's tools away.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
Because
know?
I've gotten accustomed to having like oh shit, I can't kick this dude.
Yeah, you step in with a heavy jab. Of course, I'm blasting that lead leg. You know what I mean? Make you think twice. But now you're telling me now I can't, do that. Okay, now I got to really, work on just my hands and my setups that, I don't do religiously like what this guy is doing. So, you see that's why it's a good argument of saying that, but at the same time, just MMA as a whole, I don't think it's that easy. I think, you really got to put a lot into mastering all these different disciplines, and, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think, huh? It's a very controversial thing.
That's it, bro. It's right.
I can see it on both sides. I can see it on both sides, like that.
But I could see it from. I could also see it from the standpoint of it's just like basketball. We have probably not seen the best basketball player to ever pick up a basketball.
Well, the game is changing a lot.
But like,
I think right now it's
in the NBA, but we don't see like the guy who like he got game, like the Jesus Shuttleworths, like the guys who couldn't make.
But do you really think that there's going to be a team created in the future? I mean, like, okay, how many teams are in the NBA? I think like 30 something teams. All right, like that, freaking. All right, but you really think that across the board NBA, that they're going to be in the future, way in the future, that there's going to be 5 guys on 5 guys that are going to be offense and defensive players, freaking the whole 50 minutes?
No, absolutely.
Or, how long is the game?
Absolutely not.
So
there's no way.
Like that, so
there's no way.
So like I don't
no
think
way.
I don't you think there's just gonna be 5 guys like LeBron James on each side? So until that happens, I don't think you can really compare those things.
But see, like it's just like when you talk about like amateur sports, right? Mm-hmm. You're talking about guys that like there are players in high school, college, playgrounds that can't for whatever reason, either they lack the social structure, so they can't get the education to pass and keep the grade, so that they can make it to college and keep going. So there are people out there that are much better than the guys that we see in the pros, but they just don't have the mental to do it.
They can make it through the G League and work through the G League and make it to the NBA. I don't think you need a master MBA, to be in the NBA.
So one of the things about, like I tell people about law school all the time, I feel like college is hazing. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out, can you work in the structure? Mm-hmm. And then once they're like, man, this person can't work in the structure. And then they just turned a blind eye to you because you can't work in the structure. And I just like there are guys like you've seen the guy, man. There are guys and you're like, whoa, who is this kid? Mm-hmm. Who is this guy? Where did this guy come from? But you just haven't seen him. You hadn't heard from him yet.
That's why I like the AM1 mixtapes.
Right.
So much,
right. And then but then all of a sudden the guys they disappear. They can't stop. They can't stop doing dope or selling dope or whatever they have to do. Because the hard part about being an AMI is what? You got to eat.
Yeah, sure.
You got to eat.
A lot of people, they just give up on that dream just because financially they just can't even make it.
Right.
Right. I mean? And so I'm talking about from experience, and even for me scraping along and stuff like that, life happens along that way. You know what I mean? And so I get what you're saying but as coming up for sure.